Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we talked about what is Metastore and we also saw like how we can add or remove workspaces from the Metastore. We discussed couple of interview questions and we talked about what all cluster configurations are required for Unity Catalog. And then we talked about Unity Catalog object model. Now, in today's video, we will be continuing from that particular step, okay? And we will see what are the different types present in Databricks, like for Unity Catalog. Then we will discuss about how we can create Unity Catalog and what are different ways. And then we will go through how we can create schema as well as the table underneath it. We will also talk about the three level namespace. Okay, what is this term and why it comes into the picture? Okay, so the three level namespace means if you wanted to access, right, any object. When I say any object means the tables, right? So I should say whenever you want to access the tables in present inside the Unity catalog, you have to use three level namespace. Now what are these three level namespace? These three level namespace include catalog. The second thing is schema, and the next one is your tables. Now, the catalog is the first layer in your three-level namespace, then the schema and the tables. So if you wanted to access the tables, you have to use catalog, schema, and tables, all three. And this is called three-level namespace. So let me write a code, simple code, just to showcase you if you wanted to access something from the table, right? So we can use spark dot read dot table, and inside it we will use these three level namespace catalog dot schema dot table name, whatever table name we have, and that's it. You will be getting your data frame out of it, right? So this is how we can leverage three level namespace, and this is what we call three level namespace. So if you wanted to access the object, the table object, you have to go through all these three levels. Okay. Now, when you will be creating these levels, right, or the layers, right, to hold your data. When you start creating the catalog, it will ask you for a location. Now, you can specify your own location, or you can say the external location for the catalog, right, where exactly you wanted to store this catalog. But what if you don't provide it? If you don't provide this location, it will go to the parent one, the root one, which is called metastore. Okay, and it will take the location from the metastore itself. So it is up to you, right? If you want to give the location, you can give it where exactly you want to store your catalog, right? If not, it will take it from the Metastore. Okay. And inside Metastore, it will create the catalog by creating some folders inside it, right? Some layers inside it. Similarly, it will do for the schema as well. Again, you can provide your location where you wanted to store your schema. If not, it will go to the Metastore or it will go to the catalog. If catalog also don't have the location, it will go to the metastore, and inside that metastore, it will check the folder which is present in the catalog, and inside that catalog, it will create a schema again by creating another folder maybe. And once it is done, it you will be able to create the tables as well, right? And tables will be residing inside the schema, right? If you specify the schema name as well. So it's up to you. You can have for a one metastore, right? You can have multiple catalogs. Always remember, okay? Catalog 1, catalog 2, catalog 3. And similarly, you can have multiple schemas for multiple catalogs, okay? Schema 1, schema 2, schema 3, similarly. It's up to you. And similarly, inside a schema, you can have multiple tables. So please remember, you have you have this flexibility, right? So this is all about the basics. Let's not go to the theory anymore. Let's go to the practicals and see how we can create the catalogs, schema, and table. I'll switch over to the Databricks workspace and let me check if my cluster is up and running. Yeah, it is up. Yeah, if you are going to work with Unity catalog, make sure your cluster is up and running. Now click on the catalog. Inside catalog, if you see, there are 4 by default catalogs present in Databricks. Let's talk about them one by one. What is High Meta Store, right? So High Meta Store is basically used to access your legacy High Meta Store tables. If you have created any High Meta Store tables before, right, in the legacy system, you can access it from here. Then we have main. It's a default catalog created by the Databricks in which you can have your tables and the schema. But I would suggest to create your own catalog from this option, give a meaningful name, and start using that instead of creating the main, using main. Now the third one is sample one, right? The sample catalog. Sample catalog contains some sample records which you can use for your experiment. If you wanted to just go through some sample data and wanted to try out something, right? Do a POC or something, you can use it. And then we have system. In the system, we have the information schema, right? Available for the databases, right? Whatever we are using. So it will contain your audit related information, or you can say your information schema kind of thing, right? Which we have in general databases. So these are the basic 4 catalogs as you will see as soon as you will start going through the catalog. As of now, we didn't create our own catalog. These are all inbuilt by the Databricks. Okay. Then we have other options also available here. Add data, which we can use to add some data, right, in our tables. External data, again, we can access it from the external storages, and data sharing when we wanted to share our data or access the data from some other system. We'll talk about these things in detail later on. But let's get started by creating your own catalog first. Okay. So as soon as you click on this catalog, right, create catalog, you will have this window open in which it says it's the first layer of Unity catalog in the 3-level namespace, right? That's what we discussed just now. So in the 3-level namespace, catalog is their first layer. Always remember. Now, inside the catalog, you will have the types. Let me write a catalog name. Let's say this is my demo catalog. Okay. And oh, my bad, demo catalog. And then you can select what all different types present for the catalog, right? Now we need to understand which one we need to use. Generally, or mostly, right, we use the standard one, right? We don't use foreign and shared until unless we are not working on federation kind of Databricks architecture, right? So if you wanted to access the data from some external databases, right, you can go ahead and create the foreign catalog. Okay, what it will do, it will ask you for the authentication to some external databases which you need to provide if you wanted to access it. That's why we call it foreign, right? Because we wanted to access the data from some other catalog. And shared is the one which you wanted to share with your organization. You can have provider and one more information required while you create the shared one. We'll talk about these things in detail later on. But first, we'll go with the standard one, and this is the mostly or the frequent used catalog type. Now, I was discussing about this storage location right earlier. So you can create your own external storage. Okay, it is up to you. Or you, if not, see, it's not mandatory, right? So if you don't provide it, it will go to the metastore and it will take the location from the metastore itself and create a catalog underneath it. So you don't have to worry about it. Let me go with the simple one as of now. Let's create it. Okay. So you can see the catalog has been created with the recommendation permission, with the recommended permission settings, right? If you wanted to, set up the permissions and everything, we can configure our catalog. Let me click on this. It's asking first of all what all workspaces you wanted to let them access it. Okay. The next permissions, you can grant permissions to the user, to the group, or the SPN. It's up to you. You can control all these permission related stuff from here. And then we have a metadata, sorry, which will give you an option to add the tags. Let's suppose if you have multiple catalogs, you wanted to segregate them based on some tags, or you wanted to get that information later on, you can have the tags and the comments over here, and you can add it. For the timing, I'll keep it as blank. Done. So if you see my demo catalog is done, and as soon as it is done, you can see inside it, there are two schema already being created by the Databricks itself. Now, when we talk about these schema, one is the default one, the second one is the information schema. The default one, where if you are creating any tables, it will go inside the default if you don't provide any schema, right? But generally, we don't use the default one, so you can ignore it. The second one is the information schema, where you can find all the information schema related stuff, like all the audit related stuff for your tables and for your schema, right? So all these details you can access it from here. Now, inside the catalog, right? When you are inside the catalog, you will get an option to create schema. If you click on this, again, same kind of visual will open, and you can pass the schema name. Let's say this is my demo schema. Fine. Then again, you have an option to create the storage location from here where you wanted to store the schema. If not, you can just go ahead and create it. I'll go and make sure this is the second layer of Unity Catalog field level namespace. Okay. If you click on this, it will create the schema for you. So the schema is ready. And if you see, as of now, it doesn't contain any data. Now to add data, if you see, I have an option now inside it. I can create a volume or I can create a table. We'll not talk about volume in this particular video. We'll talk about the table, right? How you can create a table. To create a table, you can, as of now, what we will do, we will upload some data from our local system. But there are other ways as well, right? You can read the data from some storage accounts and some other places, right? And you can create your own table. But just for the demo purpose, first of all, I'll show you the simplest one. So I'll open this April month CSV file. And if you see, by default, it took catalog and schema names. If you wanted to change it, you can change it from here. It's a So see, I'm using a GUI wizard. That doesn't mean that you cannot create the schema, catalog, and tables via PySpark or PySQL. You can use any one of them. In the next video or in the upcoming videos, I will be showing you how you can create the schema, tables, and catalogs using the PySpark as well as Spark SQL. So we'll go through those things as well. As of now, I'm using the UI wizard just to show you. So let's say create table. Oh, I didn't change the table name, so it by default took the table name as a file name. By default took file name as a table name. Sorry. It will take some time, so I'll not waste your time and I'll pause the video. It's done now. So if you see inside your demo schema, okay, currently it's not showing the table. Let me refresh it. Yeah, now it will show you the table. And let me go through all these options present for a table. So overview will give you the schema related stuff, and then you have the sample data just for your sample or your exploratory test, right, where you wanted to see how the data got ingested. Then we have the details like what kind of table it is. You must have heard so many times what are managed table, what are the external tables. So since it is being created inside schema and without any external location or anything, right, it's a managed table. Okay, we'll create the external tables as well, so don't worry about it, and then we will discuss the difference between managed and external table. Then we have permissions. If you wanted to grant or revoke permission on the table level, right, you can have it. You can give again permissions to whatever uh, basically the service principal or the user, so it's up to you. And then we have history, like the delta table, right? History. It maintains entire history of the table, like how many times the data got ingested, what is the version number currently, what all things you have done over there. And then we have lineage, by which you can find out couple of other information related to the table, like what is the basically what is the from where the data is coming, right? And from where it will go, right? So it will give you the information of inflow as well as for the outflow, right? So let's suppose we created this April table from a temp table, right? So temp table will be your inflow, and then after April, maybe you are creating August. So August will be your outflow table. We call some different name. I'm not getting the terminology right now, but yeah, we have that information. Apart from this, it will also show you the linked notebook by which it is being created, the workflow and the pipeline names as well, if it is there. So all these informations you will find out from here. And then we have insight where you can find out like the number of users are using this particular table, how many times it's being queried, what are the frequent notebooks by which we are querying it. And then we'll talk about the quality. So to create a quality, basically you can check like how many tables are deleted, how many records are deleted, how many times the table is being filled. You can create your own dashboard basically. Okay, you can create a monitor over here. We will go through all these stuff later on. Okay, so I hope this video is helpful for you guys as of now, and I'll just wrap it here. And in the next video, we will see how we can create these tables, Metastore, and other things via PySpark and the SQL. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.